Very good afternoon. See here, in the previous session, we discussed about set operators. So with that, tables concept is over. So very clearly we discussed about table database object. Now, this SQL is providing many database objects to us. So like second database object is view. So what is this view? This view is one database object like table. So this is the database object like table. So if anyone is asking view means, first you have to tell view is a virtual table. This term we have to use. So what is view means? View is the virtual table. Then what is the meaning of virtual table? Virtual table means, what is the general meaning of virtual? Virtual means not real. That is the general meaning. So the general meaning of virtual is, virtual means not real. Okay, virtual machine, that is not machine, that looks like machine. Virtual graphics, okay, so those are not real, but they looks like real. So that's why we are calling them as virtual graphics. So in the same way, virtual table, it is not table. It looks like table. Virtual means not real. So virtual table means it is not table. Just it looks like the table. That's it. So that's why we are saying virtual table. So generally table means table contains physical data. Rows and columns will be there. But whereas virtual table means it does not contain. Virtual table means it does not contain. It does not contain, virtual table does not contain physical data. It does not contain physical data. Table contains physical data. Virtual table, it looks like table, that's it. But it is not having any physical data. It does not occupy the memory. So it is not having data means it does not occupy the memory. So what is view means? View is the virtual table. So it does not contain any physical data. It does not occupy the memory. It is looking like table, but it is not having any table data here. It does not occupy the memory. Then what a view contains, sir? View holds the select query. View holds select query. View holds the select query. See the syntax to create view, just try to understand here. See, the syntax to create the view. To create the view, we have to follow this syntax, right? Create, view, create view, give the view name. So to create the table, what we are writing? Create table, table name we are writing. So table is the one database object. Like that, to create the view, what we have tried here? Create view we have tried. Give the view name. So create view, view name. After this, we write as keyword, as. Then write any select query here. Write any select query. So like this we write. So select query syntax you already know. Any select query we can write here. So create view, view name as select query. Very, very simple. Now, we are creating one view here. We are creating one view. For example, we are creating one view on EMP table like this. Create view. View name I am giving as V1. Create view. View name I am giving as V1 as select. On 3 columns I am creating the view. Employee number, e-name, job from EMP. Like this we are creating. Now, what is the output it will give when we write like this? It gives output as view created. It gives output as view created. But by default, this user has no right to create the view. By default, user has no permission. So, user has no permission to create the view. So database administrator has to give the permission. So by default, this user has no permission to create the view. Database administrator gives permission to create the view as following. So he writes query like this. So login as DBA. Login as DBA. So DBA writes like this. DBA writes grant. So which permission he has to give? Create view permission. So grant create view. Create view permission is giving to whom? To the batch 2 PM user. So by default, this batch 2 PM user has no right to create the view like this. Database administrator has to give the permission for creating the view. So login as database administrator. For database administrator, username is system. You already know that one. Okay. And password is Naresh IT. Login as database administrator and grant the permission for creating the view. So now we are creating the view. It gives output as view created. View created output we are getting. Okay. View is created. So what is this view name? V1. In the V1, it holds this select query. In the V1, it holds this select query. So in the select query, what it is holding? Just it is holding this view. So inside of this V1, what it is holding? It is holding the select query. Okay. To retrieve the data from the view, we are writing like this. To retrieve data from view, we are writing select star from V1 we are writing. So select star from V1 means we are retrieving data based on the view. So it goes to this view. In this view, select query is there. Implicitly, it runs this select query. Means it will display employee number, employee name, job, from which table? EMP table. So now observe here. Does view is having any physical data? Observe? No. What view is having? One select query it is having. But when we write select star from V1, is it displaying table or not? Yes. It is displaying rows and columns only. But does view is having any physical data? No. So when we retrieve data through the view, it is running this select query here. So select query it is running means select query gives rows and columns. Rows and columns it is displaying. Okay, but view is not having this data. It is retrieving data from the base table EMP only. Here EMP is called base table because based on this view created. A table on which view is created, that is called base table. In this example, based on EMP, V1 created. So this V1 is called base table. Once again, I am repeating, listen. What is view? View is the virtual table. This point is very important here. Virtual table means what? It does not contain any physical data. Table contains physical data that occupies the memory. Virtual table does not contain physical data. It does not occupy the memory. Then what a view contains? View contains the select query. So this is the syntax we have to follow to create the view. Create view. View name as select query we write. So we are creating the view like this. Create view V1 as select some column list we are giving from EMP. So view is created. This V1 is holding this select query. So now what view is holding here? This view is holding this select query. So in the future, if we retrieve the data by using the view like this, select star from V1, means V1 is having select query. So this select query it will run. So this select query it is running means it displays employee number, e-name, job data to us. So here we are retrieving data through the view V1. It is looking like table only. When we retrieve data through the view, it is looking like table only. But inside of view, is there any physical data? No. Then what a view is holding? Select query. Select star from V1 means this select query will run. Okay. So it is displaying data to us. So view is not having data, but it is looking like table. That's why we are calling this as the virtual table. This is the base point here. So always view will be created based on one table. Without table, we cannot create the view. Always view will be created based on table. This table is called base table. Here in this example, EMP is the base table. These points only I am writing here. Observe. So virtual table means it does not contain any physical data. It does not occupy the memory. View holds select query. A view is created based on table. This table is called base table. A view is created based on table. This table is called base table. So when we retrieve data through view, Oracle retrieves data from the base table only because view is not having any physical data. When we retrieve data through view, Oracle retrieves data from base table only. Okay. And view always gives recent data. View always gives recent data, means recent committed data it will give. So view always gives recent committed data to us. It always gives recent data because view is holding select query. Select query is retrieving data means using view. If we are retrieving data means it is retrieving data from table only. So whatever the data is there in the table, that only it gives. So view always gives recent data, committed data it gives. Okay. And some views can be updated. Some views can be updated. Some views can be modified. Some views can be updated. Some views cannot be updated. Some views can be updated. These views are, if we can update through the view. Some views can be updated. If we update through the view, these views are called updatable views because we can update. Updatable views. Okay. Or we can say them as the simple views. Some views can be updated. These views are called updatable views. So when we update through the view, it will be updated in base table. It will be updated in base table. So for example, using this V1, observe here. Okay. So using this V1, Using this V1, we can insert the records. We can delete the records. We can update the records. So here view name is V1. Using view, we can insert the records. Okay. For example, we are writing like this. Insert into V1 values. So insert into V1 values. Employee number I am giving as 1. Employee name is A. Is job title clerk I am giving. So we are writing like this. So if we write like this, does it insert the record means? Yes. It insert the records. It gives message as 1 row created. So here we are inserting record through the table or through the view? Through the view. So through the view, we are inserting the record. But is view having any physical data? No. So we are inserting record means where that record will be inserted, sir? In the base table EMP only. For example, we are performing update operation here. Update operation we are performing. So for example, update V1 set. Okay, we are increasing 1,000 rupees salary to all clerks. Salary equals to salary plus 1,000. Where job equals to clerk we are giving. So now it increases 1,000 rupees salary to all clerks. Here we are updating based on the view. Okay, based on the view we are doing means this updation will be applied in the view or in the base table. In the base table, because view is not having any physical data. So if we are inserting record through the view means this record will be inserted in the base table. If we are updating the record means this updation will be done in the base table. If we are deleting the record means the deletion will be done in the base table. So we can insert, we can update, we can delete through the view. So those views are called updatable views, or we can say simple views. Some views can be updated. Means we can insert, we can update, delete. So these views are called updatable views, or you can say simple views. So when we update through the view, like we are inserting or deleting or updating, it will be updated in the base table. And some views cannot be updated. Some views cannot be updated. Some views cannot be updated. These are called, okay, so these views are called read-only views. Just we can read the data. We cannot update the data through the view. So read-only view, or you can say them as the complex view. So these are the basic points regarding view. So observe here. View is one database object like table. The main point here is virtual table. If anyone is asking view means, first we have to use this term. View is the virtual table. Virtual table means what? It does not contain any physical data. It does not occupy the memory. Then what a view holds? A select query it holds. So we create the view based on one table. So the table is called base table. We are retrieving data through the view means Oracle retrieves data from base table only. View is holding select query, that select query it runs. That's it. View is not having any data. And view always gives recent data. View always gives committed data because view is running select query. Select query gives recent data to us. And some views can be updated. Those are called updatable views. We can insert, we can update, we can delete. Okay. So some views cannot be updated. Those are called read-only views or complex views. Okay. So when we update through the view means when we are inserting or deleting or updating, it will be updated in the base table because view is not having any physical data. Okay. So inserts in base table EMP. Here we are updating. Okay. It gives message as, for example, if 3 clerks are there, It gives message as 3 rows updated. Okay, so updates in base table EMP. So this is the overview, one view. See here. So finally, to create the view, this is the syntax we have to follow. This is the syntax we have to follow. Create view name as select query. So by default, user has no permission for creating the view. So database administrator has to give the permission like this. Grant create view to c # batch 2 PM. Now login as user and create this view. Login as c # batch 2 PM and create this view. We are creating the view. After creating this view, okay, that view holds this select query. So if we are retrieving data through the view means, it retrieves from base table EMP, select star from V1 means. Okay, so it retrieves from base table EMP only because this V1 is holding this select query. So it retrieves data from the base table EMP. This select query returns. That select query result it gives. We are inserting data through the view means it inserts in the base table EMP. If we are updating means it updates in the base table EMP. If we delete means it deletes in the base table EMP. That's it. So this is the concept of view. Okay. Then what is the need of using views? Already table is there. Table is having data. Okay. Then what is the need of creating view and in that holding the select query? What is the need? What is the need of creating the view? The first advantage is view provides security. View provides security for the data. So view provides security for the data. So it provides security. This is the first advantage. And second advantage is view reduces complexity and simplifies the queries. So these 2 points we have to understand. Okay, view means virtual table. Okay, it is not having physical data. It is holding select query. Okay. Then what are the advantages? Why we need to create the view? Because view provides security for the data. Okay, this point we have to understand. View provides security. See, security can be implemented in 3 levels in the Oracle. Security can be implemented in 3 levels. Okay, what are those 3 levels? Those 3 levels are, first one is database level security. First one is database level security. Next, second one is table level security. And third one is data level security. So to provide database level security, you already know Oracle is the relational database management software. So in this, we are creating the database. So to create and maintain the database, we are creating the schema. So in the database, we are creating what? Schema. Inside of this schema, we are creating the tables. So schema concept we are using. Okay. For example, there is one user is there. C # batch 7 AM user is there. He created EMP table. Okay. Now this EMP table cannot be accessed by other users like C # batch 2 PM, C # batch 6 PM. So these other users cannot access this EMP table. Now, can batch 2 PM user access this EMP table? No. Can this batch 6 p.m. user access this table? No. Only batch 7 user can access it because he is the owner. If permission is granted, then only batch 2 p.m., batch 6 p.m. can access. Otherwise, by default, they cannot access. So this is called implementing database level security. To implement this database level security, we are using which concept here? Schema concept. Every user has his own tables. One user's tables cannot be accessed by other users. Here, batch 7 a.m. user is creating EMP table. Can batch 2 p.m. user access this data by default? No. Can batch 6 p.m. user can access this EMP table data? No. So other users cannot access this batch 7 a.m. users data here. So this is security only. To implement database level security, we are using the concept schema. So by creating the user, we can provide database level security. One user's data cannot be accessed by another. Next, implementing database level security. Table level security. To implement table level security, we use commands like grant command, revoke command. So who can access the data? Who cannot access the data? Who can read the data? Who can write the data also? That can be controlled by using grant. Using grant command, we are giving permission on the table to other users. If you give only select permission, he can read. That's it. If you give select and insert update permission, he can select, he can insert, he can update, he cannot delete. So like that, we can control other users who can access, who cannot access, who can read, who can write. That we can control. This is implementing table level security. And using view concept, we implement the data level security. So these are the security levels. Listen. So with view, we are getting two advantages. One is view provides security and view reduces the complexity. How it is providing the security, we are discussing now. So the security can be implemented in 3 levels. At database level, we are using schema concept. At table level, we are using grant revoke commands. At data level, we are using view concept. For example, this data level security has 2 types. So there are 2 types in data level security. There are 2 types in data level security. One is row level security and another one is column level security. So one is column level security and another one is row level security. So column level security and row level security. See, generally what we do is to provide the security. This is the EMP table. Try to understand. I'm talking about column level security now. This is the EMP table. EMP table is having 8 fields like employee number, employee name, job, salary, department number, manager ID, commission, hire date. So like this 8 columns are there in the EMP table. So based on this table, we are creating one view. Here EMP is the table. Based on this EMP table, we are creating one V1 view here. In this view, I'm taking only employee number, e-name and job, this information of the employee. Based on this information of the employee, we are creating this view. So now what we do is, there is another user is there. Assume that Ramu user is there. Ramu user is there. This Rama user wants to access this EMP table data. Listen carefully. We want to implement column level security now. Okay. So to implement the column level security, we are using the view concept here. In the EMP table, total 8 columns are there. If we give permission on entire EMP table to this Rama user, he can access complete data. But this table may having some sensitive data like salary. We want to control the user from accessing this sensitive data. So we are creating a view on 3 columns. On this view, we give the permission to another user. Okay. So on this view, we give permission to another user, Ramu user. Now Ramu can access EMP table data by using the view. By using the view, he can access the data now. He can access which data? He can access employee number, and he can access employee name, and he can access job only. Can he access salary data? No. Can he access hire date or department number or commission value? No. So he cannot access that data. He can access only 3 columns. But in the EMP table total, how many columns are there? 8 columns are there. EMP table is having 8 columns, but this Rama user can access how many columns now? 3 columns only. So this is implementing column level security. See, in real time, listen carefully. In real time, we will not give permission on original tables. On original tables, we will not give the permission. We create one view. On this view, we give permission to other user. Now, if other user wants to access the data, he accesses through the view only. So with this, what is happening here? He does not know the original table names. He does not know the original column names. Okay. And he can access only limited data here. He cannot access sensitive data like salary, okay, commission, this kind of sensitive data he cannot access. Okay. So this is implementing column level security. The name itself is giving the meaning. View means see what that user can see. View means see. Okay. What this Ramu can view? Ramu can view only employee number, e-name, job from the EMP table. So that's why they have given name as view. View means see. What this Ramu user can view, what Ramu user can see, employee number, e-name, job, he can see. Remaining, he cannot see. So that's why they have given name as view. So this is implementing column level security. So total in the EMP table, 8 columns are there. This Ramu is accessing how many columns? 3 columns only. So remaining 5 columns data he cannot access. So this is implementing column level security. 5 columns data cannot be accessed. So this is implementing column level security. Okay. Now, what is row level security, sir? Row level security means, listen. The same EMP table we are taking. EMP table is having 8 columns. Like employee number, employee name, job, salary, commission, department number, manager ID, hire date. So these are the 8 columns. Here, some employees are working in. Some employees are working in 10th department. Some employees are working in 10th department and some employees are working in 20 department And just a minute. So some employees are working in 10th department. Some employees are working in 20 department. Some employees are working in 30 department. So like this data is there. So first two employees are working in 10th department. For example, there is department number 10 manager is there. Department number 10 manager. And there is department number 20 manager is there. There is department number 30 manager is there. Okay. So department number 10 has one manager. Department number 20 has one manager. Department number 30 has one manager. If we give permission on this EMP table, if we give permission on EMP table to the department number 10 manager, to the department number 20 manager, and to the department number 30 manager, the problem here is 10th department manager can also see 20th department data and 30th department data also. So security problems may occur. And if we give on EMP table, if we give permission to the 20th department manager, now 20th department manager can access 10th department data and 30 department data also. Other departments data also he can access. And if we give permission on EMP table to the department number 30 manager, now this 30th department manager can access 10th department data as well as 20 department data also. So if we give permission on EMP table, department number 10 manager can access other department records. Department number 20 manager can access other departments records. Department number 30 manager can access other departments records. Security problems may occur. So that's why what we do is we want to allow this department number 10 manager to access only 10th department records. Okay, we don't want to allow department number 10 manager to access other department records. This department number 10 manager, we want to allow him to access only 10th department records. We don't want to allow him to access other department records. So that is our requirement. What we do now, just simply we create one view on this 10th department now. So on 10th department, we are creating one view here. We are creating one view department 10. Now on this view, we give permission to the 10th department manager. So now 10th department manager can access only 10th department data. Can he access other departments data? No, this is implementing row level security. Now in the same way, on 20th department, we create one view and we are giving this view name as view underscore department 20. So now on this view, we give permission to the 20th department manager. Now 20th department manager can see only 20 department records. He cannot see other departments records. So in the same way, on 30th department records, we are creating the view. So view department 30, we are creating. On this view, we are giving permission to the 30th department manager. Now 30th department manager can see only 30th department records. He cannot see 10th department, 20 department records. So this is implementing row level security. So column level security means on EMP table is having 8 columns. On 3 columns we are creating the view, and on this view we are giving permission to another user. So now this another user can access only 3 columns. He cannot access 5 columns. This is column level security. Row level security means on specific rows we create the view and we give permission to another user. That another user can access these specific rows only. He cannot access remaining rows. For example, on 10th department records, we are giving permission to the 10th department manager. Now he can work with 10th department records only. He cannot see 20th department and 30th department records. So like this, we can implement row level security. That's it. So this one I'm showing practically now. So practically, we are seeing this row level security and column level security. So before that, see about types of views. So there are 2 types of views. First one is simple view, or the simple view can be also called as updatable view. Second one is complex view. This complex view can be also called as read-only view. So these are the 2 types of views. So simple view, or you can say updatable view. Complex view, or you can say read-only view. These are the 2 types of views. So, sorry, one more point we need to discuss here. In the advantages, now you know how to provide security. One more point is what? View reduces the complexity. So how it is reducing the complexity and how it is simplifying the queries. See here. For example, in the giants concept, very clearly we discussed how to retrieve data from multiple tables. So we retrieved data from EMP table and department table. So there we have written giant condition like this. E dot in the EMP table and in the department table, common column is what? Department number. In the EMP table and in the department table, common column is department number. So we have written condition like this. E dot department number equals to D dot department number condition we have written. So here join operation will be performed based on this condition. If EMP tables department number and department tables department number are matching, it performs join operation. Okay. If EMP tables department number is matching with department tables department number, it performs join operation. So here, based on 2 tables, we are retrieving the data. To retrieve data from 2 tables, how many join conditions we are writing? 1 join condition. So to retrieve data from 2 tables, we write 1 join condition. Okay. So tomorrow we may want to retrieve data from 5 tables. So to retrieve data from 5 tables, okay, how many join conditions we have to write? 4 join conditions. So like that, to retrieve data from 10 tables, we need to write 9 join conditions. For example, at real time, our requirement is like this. We want to retrieve data from 10 tables. So we need to write the 10 table column list here. Which columns are required? The 10 tables column list we have to specify. From 10 table names we have to specify. 10 table names we have to specify here. Okay, where how many Jan conditions we have to write? 9 Jan conditions we have to write here. Is it not becoming complex here? Yes, it is becoming complex. So 10 tables columns list we have to write, 10 table names we have to write, 9 Jan conditions we have to write. It is becoming complex here. Our frequent operation is retrieving data from 10 tables. So every time we are writing this query means so much time will be wasted in typing only. Okay, so that's why what we do is on this select query, we are creating one view here. Create a view V2 as this 10 table Jan query we are writing. Now, in the future, if we want to retrieve data from 10 tables, we have no need to write this select query again and again. Just simply write select star from V2. It retrieves data from 10 tables. Now observe here, writing select 10 tables column list from 10 table names where 9 Jan conditions. Is it easy? Or writing select star from V2 is easy? Select star from V2 is easy. You are not writing 10 table names. You are not writing Jan conditions. Is it simplifying the query or not? Is it reducing the complexity or not? Yes. So to reduce the complexity, to simplify the queries, we are using this view concept. So every time we have no need to write this complex query. Just simply we are retrieving data through the view. So view reduces the complexity and it simplifies the queries. How means like this. Okay, so with the view we are getting two advantages. One is we can implement security. We can implement row level security, column level security. And view reduces the complexity. We have no need to write complex queries every time. Just simply we can retrieve data through the views. It simplifies the queries. These two advantages we are getting. Okay, but the problem here is, here drawbacks are also there. So because of this view, less performance will be there. Performance wise, this is not up to the mark. So less performance is there. Disadvantage with view is less performance will be there. So performance wise, it is not up to the mark. Okay. So there are two types of views. First one is simple view, or you can say updatable view. Second one is complex view, or you can say read-only view. What is this simple view? Simple view means if view is created based on one table, if view is created based on one table, then it is called simple view. So it can be also called as updatable view. So why we are calling this as updatable view? Because we can perform database operations, like we can perform DML operations. Okay, what are the DML operations? Like insert, update, delete. So insert, update, delete are the DML operations. We can perform DML operations like insert, update, delete through this view. So that's why we are calling updatable. So simple view means we create view based on one table only. That is simple view. It can be also called as updatable view because we can perform DML operations like insert, update, delete through this view. Okay, so now I am explaining one example. And in this example, we implement column level security. Column level security we want to implement. So first create one user here. So create a user. Okay, so C ##. Okay, Ravi user I want to create. C ## Ravi. Ravi user I want to create. Create a user C ## Ravi. So to create this user, what we have to write? Create user. Username C ## Ravi. Identified by password. Password we are giving as Ravi. Default table space. Default table space is users, and quota we are giving unlimited permission on users. Now user will be created. For this user, we have to give permission for logging in. So grant connect permission. We have to give permission for creating the table. So resource permission we are giving. Grant connect resource to C ## Ravi. So Ravi can log in and Ravi can create the tables also. Okay. Now, who creates this user? Database administrator. So log in as database administrator, create this user. After this, log in as C ## batch 2 PM user. This batch 2 PM user is okay. So now what I am doing is batch 2 PM user actions I am writing at left side. And Ravi user actions I am writing at right side. Try to understand. So now batch 2 PM user is the owner of EMP table. So he is creating one view here. He is writing like this. Create view name as select employee number, comma ename, comma job from EMP. Like this he is creating. In the EMP table total, how many columns are there? 8 columns are there. On how many columns he is creating the view? 3 columns. So now view will be created here. On this view, he wants to give permission to another user, Ravi. So grant all on V2. To whom he is giving permission? Ravi. So grant all on V2 to Ravi. So now Ravi can access the data. So Ravi is accessing data like this. Select star from C ##. He is not owner. If he is owner, directly he can write V2. He is not owner. Who is the owner? Batch 2 PM is the owner. So he has to write C ## batch 2 PM dot V2. So now does it display the records? Yes, it will display the records. It displays employee numbers to him. It displays employee names to him and job values to him. it displays data to him. 7369 employee number, okay, employee name, job title, like this, it displays data to him. So he is able to see the data. Okay. Now he wants to insert the record. He wants to insert the record. So what he is writing? He is writing like this. Ravi wants to insert the record through this view. So Ravi is writing like this. Insert into, what is the view name? V2. Values. He is giving values as, okay, 1A. Job title he is giving as clerk. Okay, now does it insert this record? Yes, because this view created based on how many tables? One table. If the view is created based on one table, this one is called simple view or complex view? Simple view. Can we perform DML operations on simple view? Yes. So we can perform. So that's why it is telling that one row created. One row created. Next, he wants to update the records. So he's writing like this. So update, okay, EMP, set. For example, he wants to change one employee's job designation. Here, clerk job designation is there for one that he wants to change. So update EMP set job equals to manager. Okay, where employee number equals to 1. Like this is writing. So now does it update the record? Yes. Okay, one row updated. Okay, he wants to delete this one employee record. So he's writing like this. Delete from EMP where, sorry, here, through V2, right? I'm sorry, V2. Okay, and he cannot use name like this. Directly he cannot use C ## batch 2 PM. I'm sorry. So insert into C ## batch 2 PM dot V2 values is inserting. So update C ## batch 2 PM dot V2 set job equals to manager where employee number equals to 1. It is giving output as one row updated. Delete from C ## batch 2 PM dot V2 where employee number equals to 1. This one employee number record will be deleted. It gives output as one row deleted. One row deleted. So with this, we can understand that simple view can be updated. So DML operations we are performing. Okay, so finally we are saving this data. So if we open and see the data after commit, these changes will be reflected to the base table. We are inserting data through the view means where this record will be inserted in the EMP table. We are updating record through the view means where this record will be updated in the EMP table, base table, because this V2 does not having any physical data. So after commit, those changes will be reflected to the user batch 2 PM. So if we open the base table, these changes will be reflected in the base table. Okay. Next. See here. I'm showing it practically. Observe. We are creating one user now. Connect. System. Who creates the user? Database administrator. So database administrator is creating one user now. If any user is there with the name Ravi, let me drop that one. So fresh user we are creating. To create the user Ravi, we are writing this query. So now user will be created. Ravi user created, password is Ravi. To give permission for login and creating the tables, we are writing grant connect resource. Okay. Now I'm opening one more SQL plus window. Let me arrange these windows. Okay, observe. Left side I'm logging as batch 2 PM user. So left side, I'm logging as batch 2 p.m. user. And right side, I'm logging as Ravi user. I'm clearing the screen. Here also I'm clearing the screen. So let me set page size and line size here. And here also, let me set page size and line size here. So I'm clearing the screen here, and here also I'm clearing the screen. So now who is the left side user? Batch 2 p.m. Left side user is batch 2 p.m. Who is the right side user? Ravi. If you want to check that, you can use show user here. You can use show user. Who is the left side user? Batch 2 p.m. Who is the right side user? Ravi. Okay. So now, this batch 2 p.m. user is creating one view. Create view. View name is V2. As select query is writing employee number, comma, e-name, comma, job from EMP. That's it. From EMP. He is creating the view. Okay. So actually he has no permission for creating the view here. So this permission database administrator has to give. Let me log in as database administrator. So connect system Naresh IT. So he is giving permission. This point already we discussed. So grant which permission is giving? Create view. Grant create view. To whom he is giving permission? Batch 2 p.m. Batch 2 p.m. And once again we need to log in as batch 2 p.m. So C # batch 2 p.m. Naresh IT. So now observe here. This batch 2 p.m. user wants to create one view. He is writing like this. Create view. View name is V1. Okay, as select employee number, comma, employee name, comma, job from EMP. So now what it is telling? View created. Who created this view? Batch 2 p.m. user. Okay. So now he is retrieving data through the view. Observe here. Select star from V1. Is it displaying the data? Yes. So which data it is displaying? Only employee number, e-name and job. Only employee number, e-name, job data it is displaying. Only 3 columns. But in the table 8 columns are there. But through this view, how many columns we can access? 3 only. This is implementing column level security. So why he created this view? On this view, this batch 2 p.m. user wants to give permission to another user, Ravi. So he is writing like this. What he writes now? Grant all. On which view he is giving permission? V1. To whom he is giving permission? Ravi. C # Ravi. So what it is telling? Grant succeeded. Now can Ravi user access this view now? Yes, he can access. So what he writes now? Select star from. He is not owner, so he has to use schema name. C # batch 2 p.m. dot V1. So can he access the data? Yes. So now how many columns it is displaying? 3 columns. Now C # Ravi user can view only 3 columns out of 8 columns. So we are providing column level security here. So now Ravi wants to insert the record into this EMP table. Ravi wants to perform DML operations through view. What he is writing now? Insert into, what is the view name? C # batch 2 p.m. dot V1. Values. He is giving values as, okay, 1A, some job title is giving clerk. Now does it insert the record? Yes, record is inserted. So now open and see the table data through the view here. So select star from C # batch 2 p.m. dot V1. So is it displaying the data? Yes. Recently we inserted one record. Is it displaying that one? Yes. So record is inserted. So here we are inserting record through the view. Now where this record will be inserted? In the view or in the base table? In the base table. What is the base table name here? EMP is the base table. EMP is the base table. On EMP table we created. Okay. So, okay. This Ravi user inserted the record. Does these changes applied to the base table or not? We are seeing. Select star from EMP we are writing. Okay. Now observe here. Here only 16 rows are there. But here how many rows are there? 17 rows are there. One row inserted. This Ravi user inserted one row. Is that change applied to this base table? No. Why? Because this record inserted in Oracle instance, not in Oracle database. So view always gives recent data. View always gives committed data. So he is giving here. This user is retrieving data through the base table here. It is giving data from the Oracle database. But where this record inserted? This record inserted in the Oracle instance. So after commit, this owner can see. Okay. After commit, these changes will be reflected on base table. Observe here. Now we are using commit. After commit. Okay. Commit means what? Here Oracle instance data stored in the Oracle database. Okay, now observe, he is writing select star from EMP. Now, does this change applied in the base table? Yes. After commit, it will apply. Next, we are trying to update the record here. Update in which view batch 2 p.m. v1. So C ## C. Update. Just a minute. Update. C ## batch 2 p.m. dot v1 set job equals to manager. Job equals to manager. Where employee number equals to 1. Okay, now does it update the record? Yes. So here we are updating the record means this will be updated in the base table. In the base table EMP it will update. But in Oracle instance it is applied. So because of that reason, if this batch 2 p.m. user writes, if Ravi writes like this, select star from C ## batch 2 p.m. dot v1. So observe here for 1A, previously job title was clerk. Now job title is what? Manager. Modified here. Okay. But here the same change. Previously 1A was clerk. Now 1A modified as the manager. So now we are updating means it will update in the base table. In the base table, this change applied or not, we are checking. So in the base table, does this change apply? No. Why? Because data is not committed. After commit, these changes will be applied to the base table. So commit. After commit, observe here. Select star from EMP. Now observe 1A manager is there. See here. 1A manager is there. After commit, changes will be applied to the base table. Next, delete. We are deleting the record. Delete from C ## batch 2 p.m. dot v1 where employee number equals to 1. So what it is telling? 1 row deleted. Okay. So now we are writing select star from batch 2 p.m. dot v1. So how many rows are there? 16. So does this changes applied in the base table or not? We are checking. But here how many rows it is displaying? 17. Here 1A is not there, but here 1A it is displaying because data is not committed. After commit, these changes will be applied to the base table. So now open the base table and see the data. Now how many rows are there? 16. 1A record deleted here. So finally, the conclusion is, if view is created based on one table, that is called simple view. Okay. So can we perform DML operations on simple view? Yes. Yes, we can perform DML operations on simple view. That's why we are calling this as the updatable view. Okay. So this is implementing column level security. So how to implement row level security, that part we discuss in the next session. Okay. I'm stopping the session here. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow.